We could kill you, but I think you'd slaughter at least 4 of my men. Recruitment fees are 250 credits per man, so 1,000 credits for us to avoid the hassle of replacing those men. Do we have a deal? That isn't a possibility. This is going nowhere. You could have lived. I was trained at Malak's academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another dead Jedi to me.
Sorry I was held up, but it looks like I've arrived in time to pull you out of your predicament.
Kill them all.
Thank you so much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us from this trap. I'm sorry to offend you. You are, of course, our savior, and I am very grateful to you. We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward will be sufficient. I am humbled by your generosity. I will put this to good use. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve prosperity.
Kunda is safe in no small part due to you. I feel certain that the Administrator wouldn't have made it without your assistance. I may have misjudged you. In any case, I am free to talk about whatever you wish. We did nothing to you. Accuse us if you will, but it will not change the truth. Cutting one off from the Force. Such punishments are reserved for only a few. Although it was within our power, we did not inflict such a loss upon you. Your loss was a casualty of war, no more. Perhaps that is a question you should ask yourself. It is not something I could help you with, even if I wanted to. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. Do you have more questions for me? Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon Dantooine. Only murderers and raiders. Why would they attack you? You are no Jedi. You cannot feel the Force. For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Your trial was not public knowledge. Regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means the Jedi may gather. If you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, then we shall gather here on Dantooine. And from there we may decide what can be done. Do you have more questions for me? There are a few of us left, but I do not even know if the others still live. we may be the last. We've been forced to divide our forces and retreat to places which will be difficult for our enemies to detect and attack. We have chosen to hide our presences from each other, so that the discovery of one will not endanger the others. We cannot. And we have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers thin, there is still no trace of them. We had hoped to outmaneuver them. By letting them believe themselves victorious, we thought they would become bold and step from the shadows. Then, all of us who remained vowed to meet here on Dantooine. From here we can plan a course of action and carry the battle to them. But so far they remain in hiding, and Jedi continue to vanish and die. You have more questions for me? Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows between master and student. Are you saying you are bonded with another? Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. Are you certain? Perhaps it is merely what you believe. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion, even when you were a student here. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort. But a bond that ties two lives together, such bonds do not seem natural to me. And with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a connection would be impossible. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such. Still, you and it is possible to return. You have more questions? I suppose there is something I should show you. It will keep you alive long enough to prove useful. Now watch and learn. This form is a Taru. Because it is such an aggressive fighting style, you should only use it against single opponents. And don't try using this form amidst heavy fire. Nothing is more embarrassing for a Jedi than to be cut down by a stray blaster shot. I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
That is how flesh and blood fights. Let me show you how one fights when one's life is the Force.
I won't let you harm him. I have heard of your kind. You worship strength, when all it does is rot you from within.
You echo another's words, and as an echo it lacks strength. Who is it who has taught you of the Sith?
I will not reveal my mistress, and I will not allow you to harm the one I travel with.
I cannot harm him. His wound lies deeper than any blade could reach. That is why I follow him, and protect him.
Protect him? I do not believe you.
You do not believe that I would follow him to death. Certainly you have read as much in my movements as I have in yours. There's no shame in your feelings, sister of the Echani.
Be silent! You know nothing of what you speak.
You are alone, and wounded in your own way. I can feel its pulse, like a heartbeat from the past. But if you will not believe that I mean him no harm, then believe this. I wish to learn from him. I wish to learn how it is he still walks, when his spirit is nothing more than a shell. When you feel as though the Force, as if life itself has abandoned you. I had a question for you, sister of the Echani. The exile. What does he look like?
Like a man, but it is more than that. And I do not have the words. He shows kindness, both small and great, to strangers. He does this without hesitation. He has accepted me, even though he and my mistress are not allies. All I know is he makes me doubt the words of my mistress, one whom I have pledged to serve.
Such feelings are not unknown to me.
And I fear such doubts. Could it be my mistress was wrong about him? That perhaps he did not seek to betray the Order? That perhaps my mistress felt as I did, and when he left the Order, she found that she doubted as well? There is a feeling that emanates from him, like a sound from far away, that has traveled a vast distance to reach here.
Like an echo. Your words are well chosen, Sister of the Echani. I will not harm him. But it is not me you should fear. There are darker things in the galaxy than a blind one such as I.
I don't know what the two of you are arguing about. I caught him. He's mine. But it's obvious you two need some advice, so let me lay out the attack pattern for you. It's simple. When you want a man, you jab him with a Bothan stunner, then while he's screaming in pain, slap some stun cuffs on him. Then, starve him for 2 or 3 days until he becomes open to suggestion, then double-check his bounty and see if he's worth anything.
That sounds more like hunting.
Call it what you want. Me, I love my targets.
If you've got some time, I'd like to see what I can upgrade for you.
Yes, I do have a few moments to spare for your work. I would like to know what he is doing here, though.
He helps me out with repairs. That isn't a problem, is it?
I suppose not. Perhaps in working on my circuitry, your assistant will learn something about how a fully functional droid is constructed.
Just ignore him and let's get to work.
I would appreciate that. Our group has little in the way of time to spare, and I would not want to delay you from your other duties.
Right. Let's get you open. See what you can do. I have to say, you are put together quite well. That wasn't much to do.
As I told you, my design is streamlined and efficient, though I am pleased that you were able to make some improvements, and this was not just a waste of my valuable time.
There were a few things from my remote that I was able to integrate into your construction.
I see. Well, thank you. I'll let you get back to your work.
You know, I noticed a glow before, but now it's bright around you. You've come a long way since Paragus, and despite all we've been through, you seem a lot better for it. It's like you found this center, and nothing's gonna budge you from it. Even with all the crazy stuff that's been happening, you seem at peace. This is Onderon. It looks like there's a long line to get into the ISIS starport.
Something feels wrong here. A great disturbance here in orbit, and again on the planets below.
I guess this blockade is a symptom of larger problems on Onderon.
If they decide to do a cargo search, we're gonna be in trouble.
Looks like we're about to find out. I'm receiving a message from some Colonel Tobin. Patching it through.
The Ebon Hawk. I was told to expect your arrival. I don't know your business on Onderon, but it ends here.
Fight back, or I can outrun them and hide us on the jungle moon nearby. It's your call.